Dungeon crawlers games have captivated players for decades, immersing them in dark labyrinths filled with dangers and mysteries to be unraveled. For lovers of exploration and strategy games, dungeon crawlers offer a fertile ground to test skills and overcome obstacles. So in today's video, I bring you 15 dungeon crawlers games that you need to play in PC. Liminal Void is a survival and horror game in a dungeon crawler style. In it, you take on the role of a member of the Liminal Layer Society, a group of conjurers who protect the world from entities escaping the void. In the game, you explore the liminal layer, which is the bridge between reality and the void. Death is part of progress as it brings you closer to the gods of the void, your main targets. Humanity needs to erase them from existence to prevent another apocalypse. You can choose from 4 characters with their own gameplay styles and spells. Collect sigils to fight the gods of the void and enemies. These sigils are the currency for your spells and portals to the next layers. Avoid entities touching you to survive. The independent developer Megacrit will release its new game titled Slay the Spire 2. The title will maintain the format that mixes roguelike and deck building from the previous game, with punctual RPG elements. Additionally, some of the selectable characters will also make a return. In each round of the game, you select a character and take a long walk through a spiral tower. Each new room brings an item, a challenge, an enemy, or another type of interaction. Over time, you evolve and modify your deck to have more attack or defense abilities, special resources, and ways to proceed. When defeated, the character starts from scratch and needs to begin a new round. However, you absorb part of the experience and gains from the adventure, becoming more experienced and prepared for new journeys. Dungeon Divers is a dungeon-themed puzzle game. In the story, as the newest employee of the company Dungeon Divers Inc., you progress through various procedurally generated levels, using your intelligence and tools acquired along the way to reach the core, disarm it, and bring money home. Each dungeon has a unique layout, and you must disarm traps in different rooms, each with its own conditions and logic. Choose wisely, as you have a limited number of attempts before failing the mission. Additionally, power objects can be discovered to aid in your journey, but you can only carry a limited number of artifacts at a time. The release is scheduled for July 2024. Dungeonborne is an immersive first-person dungeon game that combines elements of PvP/VE, player versus environment. In it, you can venture alone or with reliable companions to hunt for treasures, explore dark dungeons, and face terrifying monsters and cunning adventurers. The goal is to escape before being consumed by darkness and greed. The game features a single-player mode where you can explore dungeons alone, facing enemies, solving puzzles, and collecting treasures. It is an immersive and solitary experience. For the bravest players, the hardcore mode offers a more challenging experience. If you die, you lose all progress and need to start over. Dreamsweeper is an adventure game that combines elements of dungeon crawler with the classic Minesweeper and offers a unique lo-fi musical experience. The game follows the story of a girl who falls asleep listening to music every night and wakes up in a dream world to face her disturbing anxieties. Starground is an indie game that combines automation and roguelite. In it, you build a formidable factory and explore dungeons alone or with friends. Progression is entirely independent, allowing you to choose your own path. You can solve logical puzzles, automate resource collection and manufacturing, or simply explore dungeons full of enemies and dangers. The game's progression is independent. There is no linear story or fixed path. You decide how to progress, whether focusing on automation, exploration, or puzzle solving. The game lets you build and optimize your own factory, automating processes and creating efficient production chains. Pig Rush is a maze adventure game set in a dense forest. In this game, you guide a brave boar named Argon. Our hero will escape traps, defeat enemies, and move forward to find the necessary answers to save his tribe. After selecting a direction, your character will continue advancing without the ability to change direction or stop midway, only stopping when encountering a wall. Help the boar avoid mechanisms and traps to find the portal to the next area. Chimera is a game developed by Crockpot Games. It is a 3D isometric action roguelite. In the game, you take on the role of the mythical Chimera and need to escape a deadly tower filled with relentless enemies. As you progress, you uncover dark secrets and discover the true reason for being there. The Chimera has unique abilities that can be used strategically. These abilities range from elemental attacks to evasive moves. During your journey, you will find weapons and equipment that affect your combat style. Some weapons may have special combos. Get to the Gate is an RPG about a girl who needs to reach the gate to the world of the living, but she has an extreme fear of monsters. As her fear increases, she loses her mana and runs to a safe location. The goal is to find shortcuts to avoid enemies and explore dungeons in a new location. The game is turn-based, so you have time to think about your actions. Maria, the main character, can cast spells and use magic stones to enhance her abilities. Additionally, there is a town with peaceful spirits where you can trade and upgrade your weapons. Infinity Castle Dungeon is a hardcore game for those seeking roguelike challenges. The game's concept is simple. You have only one life, and the setting is an infinite castle where all battles and challenges happen in real time. The castle is procedurally generated, making each journey unique. Immerse yourself in a world of endless battles and challenges. The game will test your mind and reflexes, but beware. The world of Infinity Castle Dungeon does not forgive mistakes. The castle is not just walls, it is alive, and only it knows what the next room holds. Prepare with resources and luck to explore the unique world of this game. If you enjoy insane challenges, it's worth taking a look at this game. Wizard of Legend 2 is the sequel to the magical action roguelite. In this game, you will face dangerous magical challenges in a dynamic and unpredictable world. In the game, you will use arcana, magical abilities, to tackle challenges. These abilities range from flaming projectile attacks to magical melee strikes and spinning storms. The game presents a series of unpredictable challenges in the Floating Lands, a magical setting created by the Supreme Mage Hieronymus. With each attempt, you can experience new combinations of arcana and relics, game-altering items.
Welcome to Deadsville.
Population her.
Now these four have the right idea. Any rules against teaming up?
Nope. Using others as shields is a time-honored tradition. Incredible. The best I've seen yet.
But to win, it will take a champion. A master.
No. A legend.
The Dark Cave is a strategy roguelike game with pixel art graphics. In it, you face tense battles on opposing 3x3 boards against waves of enemies. You can choose between 3 heroes, each with different advantages and talent trees. The knight is robust, resilient, and durable. The fairy is fast, agile, and swift, and finally the undead ghost that possesses special abilities. Every move counts, and you only regain moves between dungeon layers. When you run out of moves, each step costs life points. Each ability and even walking has a cooldown time. Plan ahead to make the most of each move. Use potions for various effects. Restore HP or moves, inflict negative statuses on enemies. Collect relics that grant positive effects throughout your journey. Adventure in the Dungeon is a 2D action platformer game where you venture into a dungeon world. Your mission is to reach the bottom of the dungeon and defeat the final boss. Starting on the upper floor, you will face dangerous monsters and mysteries. Use your skills, weapons, and upgrades to overcome challenges and confront the boss. You will begin your journey on the last floor of the dungeon, where many dangers and mysteries await you. Your character will be able to move in all 4 directions: forward, backward, left, and right. You will have to explore every corner of the dungeon to overcome all obstacles. On the way to the final boss, you will encounter various monsters. You must use your skills and intelligence to overcome these challenges. Your weapons and upgrades will play a significant role in battles against monsters. Corvos Dynasty is a tribute to classic RPGs from the 90s. There are 3 ways to enjoy Corvos Dynasty. There is an adventure mode for the classic experience of following the story linearly, with some side missions scattered along the way. The arcade mode offers a roguelike experience where you see how far you can get in randomly generated dungeons. Finally, there is the conquest mode, which is an open-world experience with minimal story. Build your characters with a selection of over 500 skills. Each character has unique characteristics that put a twist on combat. You will need to use these skills and characteristics to overcome the punishing enemies you will encounter along your journey. The weather is not just cosmetic. Storms can fuel shock magic, and heat waves can make your group more vulnerable to burns. Most areas will also change depending on the season, thus causing the area to reveal different treasures and enemies depending on the time of year. Tormentis is an RPG developed by Four Hands Games. In it, you prepare your dungeon against invaders, protect your treasure chests with monsters and well-placed traps, and train your hero to equip powerful items. The goal is to conquer other players' dungeons and climb the league. Create a unique dungeon that will deceive your opponents. Place monsters and traps in your dungeon and lead your opponents into an ambush. The game is currently in early access on Steam, offering hero skills, 3 story chapters up to level 50, 15 monsters, 10 traps, and over 100 decorative items. The developers plan to add even more visual customization options, new rooms, monsters, traps, and legendary items. Additionally, they have plans for a dungeon editor, allowing players to create unlimited adventures. If you enjoy games of this genre, it's worth giving Tormentis a chance as the game will be released this month, so keep an eye out. That was the list. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.